We are going to be reading today a Board of Trustees tribunal that we read at the last SUNY Board of Trustees meeting, which was a closed meeting that we picketed, which resulted in them moving it instead of having it in New York City, moving it to Albany. So we're going to be repeating this here because it's a good culmination of the research that we've been doing, the actions we've been taking to demand divestment. We are gathered here today because the SUNY Board of Trustees is meeting once again behind closed doors to decide the direction of our universities. They will decide this without the input of the people who keep our universities running and who our universities serve. And they will likely ignore the will of their students, faculty, staff, and alumni who say no to genocide. So we are here to remind them that we will never stop pushing them to disclose and divest from Israel as long as there is a genocide and Palestine is occupied. We bring today 4 demands. 1, disclose foundation investments. In order to address the problem, we need to understand it. So long as SUNY and CUNY foundations keep their investment practices hidden, they can claim they are not invested in genocide. And though we know this to be false, given the prominence and profitability of weapons and technology companies, we have no solid evidence with which to push them without disclosure. 2, divest from weapons manufacturers and technology committing this genocide. SUNY and CUNY and their individual campuses have millions of dollars in research foundations and endowments that are invested without regard to human rights. Investments at this large of a scale are what make genocide profitable for the university and the companies committing it. 3, amnesty for protesters and protection of non-citizen students, faculty, and staff. SUNY and CUNY have shown over the past 2 years they don't care about brutalizing their students, faculty, and staff. They don't care about visa terminations and deportations. We are in a crisis of mass deportation right now, in which we must unite to protect our non-citizen students, faculty, and staff. We must affirm their rights to speak out against genocide, to have open dialogue within a university, a place of learning. 4, replace the Board of Trustees with a democratic, collective, student-faculty worker community governance. Those of us who are running the universities and for whom they are designed should be the ones making the decisions, not corrupt millionaires like Merrill Tisch. We are here today to remind the Board of Trustees that we will not let them have a single moment of peace until Palestine is free from the river to the sea. Gaza is only 25 miles long, which is roughly the area of Brooklyn and Queens combined. This isn't a long distance. Imagine if in 1 week, in only Brooklyn and Queens, over 431 people were confirmed to have been murdered. People that you know, family, friends, old teachers, bus drivers that you used to see on your daily commutes. Maybe you wouldn't know where to begin processing all of the grief, but you would never expect the world to cast you to the side and let you pick up the pieces all on your own. This is only 1 week's worth of pain people in Gaza have been suffering. It has been 600 days of genocide from the time that I am writing this, and for these 600 days, I have told countless times by my peers that the genocide happening in Palestine is none of our business, that we are getting all worked up about something that has nothing to do with our lives, and our constant scrolling on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and exposure to constant propaganda may reinforce this idea. We have been made to feel that the genocide of Palestinians is not urgent. I am here to remind you that it is urgent. Every child contracting diseases that their underdeveloped bodies are unable to fight off, every father collecting his martyred child's limbs in bags, mixing up their arms with the arms of other murdered children in an effort to bury them properly, every mother forced to give birth with no medical assistance or sanitation, every child who spent their entire childhood trapped and tortured in Zionist prisons, every person in Palestine, especially Gaza, show us that this is urgent. We are all falling for a type of propaganda that aims at making us numb to these atrocities or even deny that they exist. And as much as people in this country like to deny reality or ignore the existence of the genocide, we are all not only complicit, but are funding it. Our tax dollars, our breakfast, our clothes, our phones, and our tuition, our school tuition. Universities, the benefactors of our tuition money, claim to be the best places for our growth and education, yet they are ignoring, normalizing, excusing, or even supporting the murder of hundreds of thousands of innocent people. It makes our responsibility as students, as taxpayers, as people to use our voice as much as we can to put a stop to what our universities are doing. Not another nickel, not another dime, no more tuition for Israel's slaughter.
So next we'll be talking about the SUNY Board of Trustees. So according to the guiding principles listed for the SUNY Board of Trustees is to maintain the highest ethical standards and avoid conflicts of interest. May the following show their willful negligence. The SUNY Chancellor John B. King has completely aligned with NYU's definition of anti-Semitism, which they deem interchangeable with anti-Zionism. Condemnation of an apartheid ethno-state is not anti-Semitic, and equating the two legitimizes its weaponization. John King and the Board of Trustees condemned October 7th and created the Civic Fellows and the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Social Justice Fellows initiative. And yet, when we try to meet with them for civic discourse, they refuse and claim they cannot meet with us due to Executive Order 157. Chairman Merrill Tisch rejects SUNY's own conflict of interest policy and refuses to recuse herself from voting on matters of disclosure and divestment, despite being a board member of Washington Institute's Near East Policy Pro-Israel think tank. Her husband, the CEO of Lowe's Corporation, is also believed to have hosted war criminal Netanyahu at his hotels numerous times. James Tisch is a board member and previous chairman for the Jewish Agency for Israel, which was established as the operative branch of the World Zionist Organization in 1929. The Tisch family have talked about trips to Israel and had supposedly introduced their daughter, Jessica Tisch, to Ariel Sharon, aka the Butcher of Beirut, to interview him about West Bank settlements for her dissertation. Jessica was recently appointed the NYPD commissioner as of November 20th of last year by our disgraceful mayor, Eric Adams, both of whom have overseen the brutalization of student protesters all across New York State. Our vice chairman, Cesar Perales, is a hypocrite. He legally represented the Young Lords, a socialist Puerto Rican independence group in Harlem, when they took control of a church to provide community services to their underserved neighborhood. The Young Lords themselves were highly supportive of Palestinian resistance. Perales, standing against BDS, contradicts the principles of the very group he defended. He himself said the Young Lords were seen as a radical young Puerto Rican group that actually, in that situation, had taken over that church and were offering breakfast to the kids. These young people had a right to have a lawyer. I was doing my job as a lawyer for a group that I thought was doing good things. Cesar Perales, you do not get to pick and choose which occupied peoples deserve sovereignty. Both Palestine and Puerto Rico deserve to be free of America's imperial reign. Joseph Bellick's law firm focuses on asbestos and environmental litigation, with a large focus on mesothelioma and keeping companies from selling products that have been contaminated with asbestos. And yet, on his LinkedIn, he prayed for the survival of Israel, despite multiple reports that Israel's unrelenting destruction of hospitals, schools, homes release enough debris and asbestos to cause cancer for generations. A leading asbestos expert, Roger Wiley, said that the asbestos exposure of people caught in the aftermath of each of Israel's bombing raids can be compared to that around the World Trade Center when it collapsed in New York City on 9/11. Joseph Bellick gave free legal aid to people affected by 9/11 and yet is a hypocrite in not recognizing the same asbestos exposure crisis in Gaza. 3 of the members, Camille Joseph Barlock, Marcos Crespo, and Eunice Lewin, have affiliated themselves with the Zionist organization Jewish Community Relations Council. Lewin and Marcos have both visited Israel courtesy of the JCRC. Supposedly, Marcos Crespo's interaction with protesters against his visit in 2018 led to him to want to pray for peace for all people. His actions undermined those prayers then, and his current actions do as well. He cannot pray for enough peace to offset his support and refusal to condemn Israel's US-backed bombing and genocide of Palestinians. Both the words and actions taken by the Board of Trustees have failed to meet any possible ethical standards their own policies demand of them, and they are riddled with conflicts of interest. Not only have they ignored our country's aid and abet of a genocide, but they directly contribute and repress our dissent. The Board of Trustees cannot be trusted in shaping a SUNY that is truly committed to their students, as they have bent toward the demands of imperialism before they even dare to bend towards humanity. Their inconsistencies expose themselves and prove that the whole structure is inefficient. We must abolish the SUNY Board of Trustees.
Okay, I'm going to read about different campus SUNY complicity in the genocide. And I am going to do this. Okay. All right. I had opened that. SUNY complicity. The Board of Trustees, the SUNY Board of Trustees, full of corrupt, as you just heard, and compromised members, ensures that SUNY stays complicit in genocide. SUNY's complicity in the genocide of Palestinians runs deep through investments and academic partnerships with Israel and weapons and technology companies. University foundations are nonprofit corporations, in quotes, set up purposefully to obfuscate and frustrate public scrutiny of massive assets. For instance, the University at Buffalo Foundation is the largest of the SUNY with 1.5 billion in net assets. Stony Brook Foundation has 862 million. Binghamton Foundation has 496 million. Albany 183 million. Oneonta 76 million. FIT 68 million. And Westchester Community College 65 million. Though these universities claimed they are not invested in Israel, even the most cursory knowledge of how investing works in the US will tell you that they are. We live in the top imperialist country in the world, where the companies that create the tools of imperialism, weapons, and technology are guaranteed to always profit. Without providing profit filtering, these companies will be part of the investment portfolio. However, this filtering doesn't result in the downfall of SUNY. SUNY has in fact applied it before in 1985 when it divested from the apartheid state of South Africa. One of the SUNY campuses, Environmental Science and Forestry, is currently divested from Israel. Their divestment from fossil fuels in 2015 resulted in a divestment from the weapons and technology companies driving Israel's genocide. SUNY ESF is still functional, providing high quality, affordable education to its students. But their university community can engage in education without having it contribute to the mass starvation of millions of children. This is something students, faculty, and staff at all campuses, all SUNY campuses want. SUNY's relationship with Israel goes beyond investments. Many campuses have direct academic partnerships through study abroad programs. Though these relationships are more indirectly related to genocide, they matter. Stony Brook boasts of its study abroad to Reichman University, which annually holds a conference for the officials of the IOF and others in the genocide industry to discuss security. University at Albany, interestingly, tried to hide their partnership with Tel Aviv University by removing it from their website, despite the fact that they renewed this program a few months into the current genocide in Gaza. Tel Aviv University invented the Dahaya Doctrine. This is the strategy Israel employs in Gaza, by which they destroy all infrastructure and impose intense suffering on the people. Binghamton has a whole center for Israel studies, founded by the Israel Institute in Washington, D.C., whose goal is to spread Zionist propaganda to universities in the U.S. In addition to being its own Hasbara propaganda machine, the Center for Israel Studies partners with Ben-Gurion University, which works closely with the IOF technology campus built next to it. Even though seemingly benign partnerships such as the Stony Brook Red Sea program in coral reef research, we are still normalizing an apartheid education system that provides high-quality lab equipment to Israel Jews while destroying all universities of Palestinians in Gaza. SUNY also directly works with the weapons and technology manufacturers driving this genocide, sometimes going as far as to produce the tools of genocide. Stony Brook has multiple partnerships with IBM for computer programs, quantum computing, and the New York Climate Exchange. IBM provides the technology for the IOF, even having a subsidiary there called IBM Israel. Binghamton University researchers, I lost my place, have frequently partnered with Lockheed Martin, including for senior engineering student capstone projects. Lockheed Martin manufactures the missiles dropped on Gaza and supplies Israel with fighter jets, helicopters, and warplanes. Just this past week, and this would be back in June, Binghamton and Stony Brook Broome County College further formalized its past collaborations with BAE Systems with a memorandum of understanding to work on an energy storage engine. BAE also supplies Israel with fighter jets and missiles, in addition to white phosphorus. University at Buffalo is a key partner with Sentient Science, allowing this company to use its Center for Computational Research to model improvements for the Black Hawk, Apache, and Super Sea Stallion helicopters and the F-35 fighter jets used to carry out the genocide in Gaza. These are just partnerships on a few of our campuses. We have dug up so much beyond this. This does not even account for all the career fairs in which these companies recruit our students to become part of the genocide machine, rather than using their talents for the betterment of this world. SUNY is tied to Israel like the U.S. is. Breaking these chains requires us to imagine a university whose mission is to educate students and provide a rich intellectual community for faculty and research to flourish, not to generate profit at the expense of millions of Palestinian children's lives.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay, so what's been ignored? Throughout 20 months of genocide, our SUNY and CUNY students, staff, faculty, and alumni have continuously demanded our university administrators and their foundations to disclose and divest from the genocidal war machine. We have rallied countless times, demanded meetings with administrators, attended public Board of Trustees meetings to demand disclosure and divestment, protections for our rights to free speech and protest, and we've only faced repression and police brutality. At every campus, excuse me, at every campus, we have had or demanded meetings with university administrators with demands. Downstate for Palestine met with their administrators in May 2024 to discuss disclosure and divestment of university investments, including through their Health Science Center at Brooklyn Foundation, and full divestment from entities profiting and or contributing to Zionist occupation of Palestine. In July 2024, their university president and board of directors refused to alter or change its current holdings and did not disclose any investment holdings. 315 Students for Liberations at Environmental Science and Forestry at Syracuse met with their university presidents after their October walkout action with demands for divestment from weapons manufacturers and ties to DoD. Their president disclosed their investments. Because of a previous fossil fuels campaign in 2015, they were already divested from weapons manufacturers. Stony Brook for Palestine met their university president and other administrators in February 2024 with a 10-page proposal on divestment from SBU's ties to Israel, detailing company contracts, academic ties, and ROTC. Their university president claimed not to have any direct financial ties to Israel and that there was nothing to disclose or divest from. Students and staff from multiple SUNY campuses attended the last 3 public SUNY Board of Trustees hearings, flooded these meetings with testimonials, demanding immediate disclosure and divestment of SUNY investments. No response. Chairman Merrill Tisch wasn't even paying attention in the last Board of Trustees meeting through most of the testimonials. She was clearly having conversation with someone off screen while people were giving testimonials and laughing while people spoke about genocide. Graduate students from Buffalo and other schools and faculty like Dr. Jessica Payman from New Paltz have quit their jobs and positions in protest of genocide. Still no response from the administrations of these campuses. In the spring semester of 2024, multiple divestment or ceasefire resolutions were voted through student governments across SUNY schools, including Albany Undergraduate Student Association, Binghamton Undergraduate Student Association, which was unfortunately later reversed by deplorable Zionists in the fall 2024, Buffalo Undergraduate Student Association, Fashion Institute of Technology Student Government Association, Environmental Science and Forestry Undergraduate Student Assembly, and Stony Brook Undergraduate Student Government and Graduate Student Organization. Multiple attempts have been made to file Freedom of Information Act, FOIAs, across SUNY schools to demand, excuse me, sorry. Oops, I lost my place. Multiple attempts have been made to file Freedom of Information Act, or FOIAs, across SUNY schools to demand financial disclosure as well as transparency of communications between our university presidents, university police departments, state police, and state police. Albany, Buffalo, Binghamton, Fredonia, Geneseo, New Paltz, Stony Brook have all been working tirelessly for the past year to foil for financial investments and communications and have been continuously stonewalled and delayed. Across SUNY schools, we've held marches, actions, rallies, banner drops, die-ins, sit-ins, tabling, and teach-ins at Albany, Buffalo, Binghamton, Cortland, Downstate, ESF, FIT, Geneseo, New Paltz, Oswego, Purchase, and Stony Brook. We've had peaceful sit-ins turn into brutal arrests at FIT and Stony Brook. At Purchase, a student was suspended for taking down an Israeli flag. We faced endless Title VI's, disciplinary hearings, probation, suspensions, and have been banned from campus. Last spring, multiple SUNY schools held encampments to demand our SUNY institutions to divest from investments and partnerships with Israel. At Buffalo, police responded violently when the students attempted to hold an encampment. The cops ripped off a student's hijab. At the FIT encampment, they also faced police brutality with about 20 arrests, 5 suspended students banned from campus grounds and prevented from continuing their classes and degrees. At the New Paltz encampment, over 100 police from 6 different agencies descended with riot gear, batons, canine dogs, and a bulldozer to destroy encampment and student property. They aggressively dragged and carried protesters by their limbs, knocked out an 80-year-old person unconscious, and arrested 133 students, faculty, and community members. The Purchase encampment was also met with the Purchase encampment was also met with helicopter surveillance and police in riot gear. They brutally arrested over 70 students and faculty. Last year at the Stony Brook encampment, not only did the police force the students to sleep without tents in the rain, but they also took out their knives to cut the tents whenever they attempted to set them up. Their university president refused to meet with the protesters to negotiate. Later that night, 3 separate agencies of over 150 university police, county police, and state troopers were sent in to brutally sweep the encampment and arrest 29 students, faculty, and community members. So, despite everything we have done for the last 20 months, despite meeting with various administrators, different actions, FOIL requests, doing whatever we can to educate our peers, and so much more, the silence of every SUNY Board of Trustees, every single university president and administrator and stakeholder reveals their complicity. Thank you.
And now I'll be reading the closing statement. Islamic University of Gaza, Al-Isra University, Al-Quds University, Al-Azhar University, Palestine Technical College, University College of Applied Sciences, Al-Aqsa University, Gaza University, Hassan II University of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, Dar al-Hikma University, Gaza Training Center. I had a class, I had an assignment, I had practice. I can't miss it today. It's summer. I need a break. I beg for all of us after 19 months of continued genocide to deeply investigate what we are willing to lose for the people of the world, what we are willing to let go of for the sake of all of our survival. I think about what it means to be at the Imperialist State University of New York. I do not erase from my brain what responsibility I've played with my own tax dollars that aided in the destruction of these universities. I do not erase from my brain those who are my age and face a completely different reality. What makes the difference is that I am in a place that facilitates this doing. What does it mean to be a student in the heart of empire, an institution that bends towards fascism before it bends towards humanity? Our education should not be reliant on the taking of others. Our protection should never been reliant on the murder of Palestinians. We cannot dust our hands off from our responsibility to continue to make divestment inescapable. The rubble of these universities do not forget us. To be a student and get gold stars and get awards and shake hands with those who are in the rooms that can end every collaboration with the Zio-American war machine. The ones who have no shame, the ones who have made the call to arrest us for our justified position in halting their gears in every way we can. What does it mean to be a student in empire? It means nothing at all. We have a role as conscious students of liberation to agitate and escalate in the ways that students in Gaza have. When people say students lead revolutions worldwide, I think of Palestinian students, the ones who are my age and facing the beast in an entirely more material way than we have. We have a role to internalize their bravery and continue to give up our colonial comforts, because what we lose is worth nothing. Those privileges are things that have no real value to us. What we gain will be much more. So we will agitate, we will escalate, we will make funding a genocide incredibly unsustainable for SUNY, for Gaza, for the child who lost every single one of her classmates, for the 20-year-old who has had to face an evil that is bigger than all of us. We say these entities are not invincible. May we internalize the steadfastness in facing SUNY and the US. May we continue to find new ways to make our fight inescapable until we are all free.
Okay. That concludes the tribunal of the Board of Trustees of SUNY and CUNY. When we originally read these statements, we were out in front of the SUNY headquarters, which, as you heard earlier, that the SUNY Board of Trustees had abandoned. They were supposed to have an in-person meeting, but once they heard we were going to be out there, they rescheduled it to Albany. We felt it was important to make a recording of these statements. We will have this posted on our SUNY BDS YouTube channel.